readers. My name is Dawn Hughes, and I'm the coordinator for Booktrib's book club program. I'm here today with internationally best-selling author Rhys Bowen to talk about her latest historical mystery, the heartbreaking story of a courageous wife and mother determined to avenge her son's death against inconceivable odds. That is such a simple description for what sounds like such an incredible book. I can't wait to read it. The Paris Assignment is one of the books taking part in Booktrib's book club program for August. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes out of your schedule to talk to us, Rhys.
Oh, hi, Dawn. Good to talk to you.
I'm so excited. Where are you located?
I'm actually in Northern California, just north of San Francisco, where the weather is delightful, I have to say. Not too hot, not too cold.
Oh, that's lovely. We've had strange weather here. It's been hot, and then we had tornado weather last night. Now it's raining, so
Oh, okay.
not
No,
fun.
thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Anyways, so no spoilers, but I'd love if you could share a little bit about the book, something that we wouldn't read on the book cover.
Well, I think the first thing to say is there've been so many books recently with Paris in the title. It's rather overwhelming, the Paris foot, the Paris nose, I mean, what else? This book is much more than Paris. There is a bit about it in World War II in Paris or around Paris, but it spans time, it spans place. We start in 1930. We move from London to Paris to London, and then the book has a parallel story going through it in Australia. So it's a very big story altogether, and it winds up in about 1947 in Australia. So we have really stretched a lot of time and place and a lot of experiences that weren't connected to World War II as well. So it's a big read, I would say.
That's good to know. Thank you.
I should also mention that my original title for this was The Island of Lost Boys. Now, I can't tell you any more because it's a spoiler, but you have to ask yourself, why was it that title? Aha, you have to read to find out.
Look at you teasing us already. I love that. Historical mysteries is obviously your your wheelhouse.
Yes.
For this book, was there anything that while you were doing the research that was surprising or fascinating that you were excited to include?
Um, Horrified to include, I think. When I started really doing the good research into what it would be like to be dropped behind enemy lines in France as a courier for a woman, I found out that the survival rate was 25%.
Wow.
So three-quarters of those girls were not going to make it. And they knew what would happen to them if they were captured, and yet they kept volunteering, they kept signing up. And I thought that's incredible. And also when I went through that, you'll see in the book the training they go through. When I saw that training, I thought, I would have quit after day two. I really would. And it was designed to break those who were not strong enough to do it. There's a lovely scene. One of my favorite scenes in the book is when my heroine's name is Madeline. She has to take on a completely different persona. And so she's walking across the grounds of this lovely house where they're training, and someone calls out, "Hey, Madeline." And she turns around and she's slapped across the face so hard that she's nearly knocked to the ground. And the man says, "You've just signed your death warrant." And you realize you can never slip ever for 1 second, and that sort of carried me right through the book, that you can never make that one tiny mistake in your life. So it was very hard to write because I knew bad things were going to happen. I knew it was going to be sad. I knew it was going to be, but I think the reader will be very satisfied as well.
Just having you describe that gave me chills.
I know, yeah.
Sure it's going. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to. It sounds like obviously this is first and foremost a story, but it sounds like there's going to be quite a few themes and messages and things. Why do you think the Paris Assignment makes such a great book club selection?
Well, first and foremost, I think people love to talk about Paris. It's one of those magnet places. Why Paris? Why not Berlin or Barcelona? People love to talk about Paris. They've been to Paris. It means something to everybody. And the other thing, people are fascinated by World War II. We've noticed in the last few years so many World War II books. And I think it really resonates with us now because of political upheavals, because of pandemic. We've been through time when we've been stretched ourselves. And I think to read about a time when people were stretched so much more, demanded so much more of them, and yet they came through, I think it's very satisfying for us. So there are the discussions of moral choices, of turning points. There are several times in the story when one small action really results in a whole different direction for the story. And I think we can all discuss when that's happened in our lives. I know I've had some in my life. And then female bonding, the power of love over everything. There's lots to talk about. And I'd like to say too, I will have discussion questions for any book club that likes to email me via my website, rhysbowen.com, and I will be happy to send you the list of discussion questions once you want to get going. Okay.
Oh, that's lovely. Yes, I'll probably ask for those questions myself to follow along. We're going to gear up or shift off your book for a second, just because we're always interested to know what you're reading. What was the best book you read in the last year? Or I know that's an impossible question, but
well, one stands out, and that was Lessons in Chemistry. I'd put it on my to be read pile, and I finally got to it this summer, and oh wow, what a book. It was really quirky, different characters, and a very strange and different love story, but what a great feminist message. I love that she's a scientist against all odds in the 1960s, and she's going to come through triumphant. It was a really compelling story.
I need to add that to my
Yeah.
TBR. It's already on my TBR, but you've just given me a reason to.
No, definitely recommend. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. As much as I would love to talk to you all day about this book and your other books, I do have to wrap this up. So thank you for your time. For more information about Rhys's book, please check out the book club page on the booktrib.com website. Thank you.